Welcome back. Nice to see you again. We're talking about keto foods again. If you're on the keto diet, our last video talked about sweeteners that you might want to use and gave you a few tips and pointers that I've learned through the course of the last few months, losing over 35 pounds on the keto diet. And you might want to watch that one, so I will put a card up for that. But in the meantime, now we're going to talk about what are you going to make a sandwich out of? Well, you do have some options. There's one option is Aldi has this bread. This is the multi-seed right here. Multi-seed. You can tell this is one of my first videos. And then they have the wheat. It says keto friendly. It used to say 0 carb, but they changed the name. But it's still 0 carb. We're pretty close to it. And I have tested this bread myself by taking my blood sugar, eating 2 slices, waiting 45 minutes and testing my blood sugar again. It had almost no effect. It raised my blood sugar about 6 or 7 points, which could have just been a testing anomaly. Now, once again, I'm no doctor, not giving medical advice, just giving you advice on some of the things that I've picked up and learned during the course of time. That's the name of the channel, Learned. Someone who's learned a lot through life. Used to be called a learned individual. It meant he knew some stuff. And I like to think that I've picked a few things up in the 53 years I've been on this planet. So anyway, here we go. That is some store-bought bread that I can personally vouch for. I have not found low-carb bread that I want to pay for anywhere else. I found some that they want $8 or $9 for a loaf of bread. I'm not paying that. Aldi bread's $4 a loaf. It's good enough for me. But I like homemade bread. And when I go to get something to eat, I want a bun. That is a bun. We're going to talk about that recipe in a future video. But for now, I'm here to tell you that is a nice, soft wheat bun. Yeah, you heard me right. A keto wheat bun. Me and my family went today to Burger King, bought some Whoppers, brought them home, threw the buns away, used those buns. Oh boy, were they good. Oh. So anyway, I don't recommend Burger King, but if you like that kind of thing and you miss it, make your own buns, because nobody sells 0 carb buns that I know of. Now, if you want to get and make your own buns, or your own bread for the keto diet, low carb, and you can't have wheat gluten, if you're one of those few people who cannot have wheat gluten, please check out Serious Keto. He has a wonderful recipe. If I can, I'll put a card up for his video on that. And in the meantime, one of the first ingredients you're going to need if you want to make your own buns and your own bread is this right here. Hard to read. A little closer. Vital wheat gluten. And this is the one that I've done all kinds of research on Amazon. This is the best priced one. And it has a good flavor. It works really well. Without gluten, it's hard to make homemade bread that turns out decent, anything like real bread. Be forewarned, gluten does have carbs in it. It has 4 carbs. Turn around here and see on the back. 4 grams of carbs per quarter cup. And there's no fiber. So you're getting all 4 of them grams in a quarter cup. Thankfully, you don't need a whole lot. Now, something that does a similar thing to gluten, that I'm not real crazy about the taste of, but in bread you don't really notice it, and that is xanthan gum. Turn here for you. I bought this at Walmart. You can get it from different places. I don't know if it's the best price. But it says here on the back there's less than 1 gram of carbohydrates per quarter teaspoon. So that is a little on the high side. That's almost 2 carbs a teaspoon, but you don't need very much. Half a teaspoon is what a lot of recipes call for, or less. So there's that. There's xanthan gum. It gives it that stringy stretchiness. Now some people, they like this stuff. Coconut flour. Coconut flour. Me, not so much. It's basically ground up coconut. It smells coconutty. It tastes a little coconutty. I'm not a big fan of coconut. But if you mix it into a loaf of bread, you don't really notice it. And it gives your bread a lighter, fluffier texture, more like white bread. But it also has a lot of carbs. Look here at the back. You can see, I'm going to get that where you can see it. Right there, you can stop on that and see it. It says it's got 9 grams of carbohydrates for 2 tablespoons, but 5 grams of fiber, which is only 4 net carbs. That means it has 2 net carbs per tablespoon. That's 8 carbs, 8 net carbs in a quarter of a cup, because there's 16 tablespoons in a cup. That adds up very quickly. So the pro and con of it, and you need to add a little extra water when you use it because it sucks up a lot of water. But it does make your bread light and fluffy. I'll give it that. Something else that helps make your bread light and fluffy that I do like, right there. You read that? Oat fiber. Oat fiber. If you look back here, 5 grams of carbs, 5 grams of fiber. So it has a net 0 carbs. 0 carbs. So that's much better. But you got to be very careful about the brand you buy. I've only bought 2 brands so far. I bought this brand right here that you just saw. It is called Life Source Foods. Very mild flavored, white colored oat fiber. Very mild flavored. You almost don't even taste it. Now, I bought another brand. I won't tell you the name, but I'll show you the package real quick. Because it was a better deal. Save some money on the oat fiber, I thought. Oat fiber is oat fiber. Wrong. That oat fiber, I opened it up. Very pungent aroma. Darker tan colored. And strong flavor. I could taste it very clearly in every loaf of bread I made. So I still have that. Don't know what I'm going to do with it because I went out and bought some more of this. You do what you want. That's something I learned the hard way because it's not exactly the cheapest stuff in the world. Now, there are other things that you're going to want to buy and use when you are doing keto baking, and we'll talk about them in a future video. But I wanted to get started with these, show them to you, give you an idea of some of the things you're going to need. Thank you for watching. Now you have some options out there in the world. Aldi makes a pretty good 0 carb bread. And I personally have tried both different kinds. They have 2 different flavors, wheat and nuts.